Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you very much for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take another look here at Solana, see what's going on. And if you want to help, grow the channel, hit the like button, comment below. Maybe even join us over on Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. Or more importantly, CryptoCash.tech. I have a trading academy, community, and signals group. Got a lot of new members coming over. Just recommend you watch my university videos and make sure you kind of get a good baseline on how to trade these kind of markets, because it's not exact rocket science when it comes to fundamental catalysts. But what is important is recognizing risk tolerance and those things there. And that's probably the most key thing that you could ever learn. Either way, that's all there for you. Take a look here at Solana. We can recognize descending type of trend here. We are, when we look at liquidation, 148 to 151 is that upper area here locally. So we may see a sweep of that range. And at this point, from a macro perspective, all local liquidation has been fully swept. So there's really no incentive to keep pushing the price action down for this coin, minus the fact that liquidation short delta is still quite high to the downside. Basically, we've got, 1.5 billion in liquidation short delta. Bitcoin's roughly the same at 14 million, which is roughly kind of basically in a lot of ways similar to the 1.5 we're seeing here. So the reason why that's all relevant is lets us know that there's still a lot of selling pressure. Until that dynamic shifts, it may be disadvantageous to consider a long. I was thinking about taking a long between 138 and 140, but I'm kind of waiting to see how this weekend continues lower. It feels like we're just getting a solid bleed out for most altcoins. Solana is recovering and holding better than most, but it's still not in good shape here. As we can see, open interest pretty heavy above the price action, 145 and 155 are those two areas. Take a look here at the daily time frame. We want to just recognize as well that we're below all moving averages. Pretty much everything is looking quite bearish at this point. There's no other way around it. So trying to convince yourself to take a long right now is, I wouldn't say foolhardy, but it's just not appropriate, minus certain key level supports being held, right? But when we look at the macro though, and we kind of zoom out, we can recognize that there's a lot of control above the price action at 145. And so far, unless we can reclaim 145, it's a solid chance we may continue a bit lower. All right, I don't think it's going to be super low, because based on our local history here, we didn't spend a lot of time in the 100 to 110 range. More like 120 to 140 was that accumulation phase. Okay, so we're going to start seeing more Solana get bought up as it continues lower, of course, but I think we're reaching our tentative bottom. However, based on volume, we are below some of those areas. That's generally not favorable. Now, I don't recommend shorting at this point though either, because this coin is showing a lot more strength than most altcoins, and just in general, Bitcoin, it may actually start to bounce and stabilize here if we stop getting crazy war stuff going on. Okay, a lot of it's based on that. And that's what the crazy thing is. This market right now, it's very difficult to trade with confirmation, based on the simple fact that as soon as you get a confirming factor, either manipulation or, more importantly, some random Trump tweet or some kind of new war missile getting sent out, these are all things shaking the market. If you take a look at Bitcoin dominance, it's about as high as it can get. It's reaching its local high here of 65.5%. And when that happens, Bitcoin dominance goes up, price of Bitcoin is going down. We're going to see a dump from alts, which we saw yesterday. Today, we're starting to see stabilization. Okay. Ideally, in a perfect world, this continues lower, money starts flowing back into alts, and we start to see a recovery. But between now and then, this is not a good situation. All right, folks, that's what we got there. Never going to sugarcoat it for you and tell you we're going to the moon. I mean, I don't think I'd ever say that regardless, because I'm not an idiot, but generally speaking, I think it's important to recognize that we're not in a position right now where taking along with confidence is the appropriate consideration. But I also feel it's too late to short at this point. The opportunity to short, I think, came and went already, and I just think it's probably best to wait on the sidelines until things kind of cool off. Right? We may be waiting a while. It's hard to say. These wars are just, they wreak havoc on markets. So that's where we're at. Thanks again so much for watching. I hope you learned something today. Don't forget to always hit the like button, comment below. Join us over at Bitunix too, folks. These guys are phenomenal. No KYC or VPN required exchange. I'm sure you know this. I talked about them already, but we've been working with them for 2 years now, and they've been fantastic for our community. So really good for those in the States. Have a good rest of the day. We'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much for your time. Take care.